just me right now.
Want to sit here?
Oh, no. Just gonna be in and out.
It's normal here.
I try to give these guys a chance. I really do. And on paper, they all put my criteria. Okay, I need to go to the home goods store and then I'm done.
Maybe subconsciously you're picking terrible guys to go on dates with.
Why would I do that?
Because maybe you're not ready yet. You're still wearing the ring,
I
honey.
don't want any drama, animosity.
And it's a very pretty ring.
We'll stay out in the trailer tonight if that's okay with you.
You sure about that?
Leave the back door open. We'll get all our stuff.
Dating isn't like your little Christmas list there, Jesse. It's staying open.
You know, we came here to help with your surgery because you're going to be incapacitated. Trying to help with the situation so it doesn't turn into
You are. And you have your brother.
a crisis later.
That's true.
Look, I know it's not the same as a dream Christmas hug, but
You know, I'm not done with this. I'm staying open and he could be right around the next
And if you don't want us here, you know, we're not going to be somewhere where we're just tolerated and not celebrated for the things that we're trying to bring to this family and have tried to continuously over and over.
One more order of business before we close for the holidays. And we need to solve this issue with the Stevenson Street development. As you know, we projected construction to begin after the new year. However, we run into an issue with the
I
last
appreciate
tenant in the
wanting
building.
to help.
All the other leaseholders have already vacated. If we don't break ground by mid-January,
I do,
we'll have
and
to
yes.
close construction.
With her, I can always use help,
We can't do
but
that. You promised 80 in your affordable housing units by the fall.
trying to
Laura's
push
tried to
so much
engage with
at her
Shopwell,
at one
but she
time
refuses to talk.
See, I think the problem there
is
might be
overwhelming
sending
for her.
orders.
And now,
Small business owners
I've
should
never seen her
put them on
depressed
human
before.
touch.
Right now, she
Maybe we should
is.
go talk to her.
Because
Very
we've taken her
depressed.
off of sugar. Because she's not on a sugar high 24/7.
And that's why we let the Lawyers handle it.
Chemically-
Honey, there's more to it than that. There really is.
We need them up.
She won't come out of her room hardly, not hardly even to eat. And weight is an issue for her,
Brian,
a big issue,
a word? Your father only asked me to step in as
and she's losing it right now.
I know. You didn't think I was ready.
What about you? Do you think you're ready?
I can tell that by looking at her. It's just,
I mean,
So does she have a doctor-approved diet that thinks that she should be eating?
like, come on, we little things.
okay, you know the sour cream you put in her mac and cheese?
Yeah.
That's part of it. The cream cheese I put in other stuff, that's part of it.
I've
we can
never
do-
stopped her from doing those things. She's eating vegetables and she's eating well-rounded meals. And she's actually eating all of them, even without the sugar. She eats an entire
Honey,
plate
I've
of
witnessed
vegetables.
that, okay? I knew she was doing that at church. She just wouldn't do it for us.
So why put up so much resistance to when she does do things for other people? And it's just that, well, this is the only way.
Prouder of the global team this year. Seriously, you
She
all
clearly
know
doesn't
that
do
was
things
fun.
for you or won't do things in front of you.
This is a very thoughtful gift. I will decorate it tonight. Okay, should we do a cheers? To the best fiber optics marketing team in the world. Cheers. Happy holidays, everyone.
I mean, there's all these stories of, oh, how did she know this or how did she know that? You guys are baffled that she can't figure things out. She can't learn things on her own. Has she ever been to a store to go shopping for herself? Or just order everything for her? How's she supposed to be a part of the real world if she's never been in it? How's she supposed to know how to act if the only people she has interaction with are worse off than her? She has way more capability than a lot of kids she's going to school with.
I'm aware. I am aware.
Are we not doing a disservice by letting her, you know, and by not doing more? And we're not, you know, saying, oh, that's not it. There's no pride. There's no game. There's no nothing. We're all family here. And what's going to happen? I still haven't gotten an answer. What happens next year or 2 years from now? What happens if you and Dad get in a car? What happens then? What happens to her? Does she go into the first facility that they decide you can afford and it's going to be the worst one? Is she going to go to us? Am I going to have a 17-year-old pooping diapers? What's the plan? And we're here to help. You were going to have surgery on your hand. That's why I'm here.
Yeah, well, he's not going to do that, so.
That no, just be the dinner.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Only the dinner.
I just have to live with my hand the way it is.
Little girl.
Kind of like my back. I have to
You know,
live with
and
it
then
the way it is.
and then she was back there making all this noise, and Grandma's like, "Why? Can you make her be quiet?"
And
Well,
Lily.
yeah, if I tell her to be quiet, but she responds to militant because she's been coddled and babied, so that doesn't register to her.
We just want to help you see.
Yes, I can stop yelling at her, but she doesn't get the point. And when you start saying those things to her, she does things immediately. So that's all it takes her a while to register. No, she's stubborn because she's been allowed to be that way. And aren't you the first one to repeat stubbornness is witchcraft?
Yeah.
So going back to reverting to old ways where she would have eaten biscuits and gravy. We knew we were going somewhere, so why didn't anyone go and get her up earlier if we knew we were on a time crunch?
And the activities.
We-
So, you know, if we cancel everything, I'll look like an idiot.
Well, we don't want to embarrass you.
We're supposed to be working together as a team, but it seems like we're being met with resistance and animosity. And we're trying to make her become a better functioning part of society, cleaner. And it can happen because in 3 weeks we've gotten her to put her hands down, close her mouth. And guess what noise she isn't making? Guess what she isn't doing to everybody when we told her to close her mouth? Because she's concentrating on closing her mouth instead of every, whip stitch. And it's because she sees us as her peer, so she's going to look at us and see what we're doing and want to be a part of it.
The whole reason I replied, to be honest. I live the
Okay.
best life.
The one thing,
When I saw that,
and I appreciate that. I do. I understand where you're coming from. But at the same time, her well-being is my concern. And
Is it not ours?
I would like to think so,
He was
Tara.
in there this morning going over sign language with her because there's signs that she's making that no one is aware of. So what we're trying to figure out is, okay, what are you actually telling us? I'm trying to figure out, okay, why do you make that noise when you're sitting on the toilet? Does it hurt, maybe? Let's find the reason to why you're so resistant to actually using the toilet. But we don't know until we can communicate with her. And she has her own cocoa way of communicating, but it's very limited. Maybe. But if we actually start reading into it and working with her. I know, baby. Give it a second.
I'm waiting for
Here, give it a second. Give it a second. Give it a second.
I move that for you.
You gotta let it charge, baby.
Yeah, somebody take the laundry.
Toro!
Exactly, and that's why it's a foolproof thing. Any guy that agrees to be Christmas is the kind of guy that I want to be around. Someone awesome, curious, and with a great sense of humor, and he's up for anything. Obviously, he loves Christmas.
This is a very.
You gotta leave it plugged in, baby. You gotta leave it plugged in. Look. Happy. Come on.
Sure you're gonna be okay all alone during this? You're fine.
Nothing to worry about.
wow, you can start any minute.
Maybe there's some other lonely eyes right there. Did you try that dating application real quick?
Be my guest.
Oh, there's someone.
She's cute.
She is cute. Jessie. Looking for someone to join me.
And we're not saying that it all has to happen at once.
All day Christmas.
But if she were using the bathroom, a lot of things could change for her in her life.
Humor is mandatory.
So we're just trying to help. And we're not She was never my main concern coming here. It was helping you around the house, helping you for when you were incapacitated, so I could literally come here and help wipe everybody's butt.
Emoji.
And I'm willing to do that. I've done it for you before. I would do it again.
Okay, Brian. If
I know.
that is
But for my husband, and me to be treated like that and talked to like that,
How do you think he was talking to us, Tara? Was that okay?
Call me curious.
Was that okay?
Yes. You seem
did you attack his faith? He never attacked yours.
yes. Not a weirdo.
Do you think a man of God is going to stand there and say
And let
"F
not let
you" all the time in front of a child who's
Who's saying it to him? He is not supposed to be talked to like that by a teenage who has no idea the concept of what she's even saying. But yet
reinforcing it isn't going to help her not have that concept.
reinforcing and telling her that it's shameful and she shouldn't be saying it. He's not telling her to say it. He's telling her that she should not be saying it. So he's trying to find other words to give her.
She sounds kind of fun.
She sounds like she's been harvest your organs. Do not engage.
Too late.
Do you know how to make the letter F?
Or this could be the best blind date ever. Won't know until we try it out. I
Do you
think are.
not think that there's an actual word for the whole word?
There may be, but do you know what the letter F is?
Like,
Seriously. Good work, Tara Bear.
What's
Can
the
she do
letter
that?
U?
Do me a favor and just promise me.
What's the letter U?
What's your guys'?
but she has her own language, as you've already stated. She
I have.
comes up with ways to say things herself.
So does he have any- Oh, what about Anna? Does he know? Hi.
A lot of the things you're saying are also contradictory because you say 1 minute she comes with her own language, and then, well, she's not signing it right, so it must not be what she's saying.
Thank you.
No, that's not what I said. But this, or wherever she's doing it, and this, I don't think that's what she's really meaning. But you tell her that's what it is long enough, she's going to pick that up. She's going to put it together.
Look at that. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
And it's that she didn't learn it at school.
But in fairness,
She hasn't learned it here at home.
entire family.
Yeah, that I get. And I would do the same.
I have.
So I hope this isn't interrupting any of your own Christmas family plans.
But you said she's not saying it, though. So what's the problem?
And our Christmas is for
If she's a 3-year-old, why would she know what he's saying?
Well, maybe that's why you and she.
Because when you keep at it long enough, yeah, she's going to pick it up. And she's going to eventually associate the hand gesture she's making to what he's saying.
We didn't give her that association. When she's being told not to do something, or she's being told to do chores, or she's getting told to do something she doesn't want to do, there's attitude behind it. And
I know this, which is why I have to keep working with her.
Ready?
That's what I do.
So why are we having animosity between us when we're all on the same page trying to work with her?
Merry
Okay, I'm wrong. I know it.
Why can't everyone be a little right? Why can't we all be right?
I have never intended for her to be your burden to bear.
Mom, when you don't have a plan for her, where's she gonna go next?
That I don't know because somebody can't help me make a decision.
Dad,
That is quite
And he doesn't want to talk about it.
well understanding, my friends.
You're lucky. Lucky to wear one yourself.
Oh, don't worry. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do.
Feel like Aunt Lily.
Oh, that's true.
Oh, I thought Jesse told you about all our traditions.
I did.
I took my pill.
Okay.
You're watching WOUB Public Media PBS Kids.
Do we give up on this idea of trying to live together under one roof?
You're watching
The
I think the main conversation right now, and needs to be, and has been, what happens next with CJ?
Well, we've known from the beginning that we wouldn't be able to handle her teenage years because we'd be pushing 70.
You just had a heart attack. You shouldn't be washing and diapering her ever again.
Right, right.
You have your own physical ailments. You can't get her up on a change table. She won't listen to you.
she gets up there by herself. I can.
Okay, so she
establish
listens to you and does these things all the day. So all those times you on the phone when this girl's 1 minute she's fine, you guys are walking out the door, and then next she has diarrhea all over her. You don't think that she has some sort of...
Breathe.
You haven't put it together. She's able to do that when you guys are going to somewhere important, when you have things going on for you. There's the poop. You get out one door and you have poop. Or she's telling you she has poop at church, so has to pull you away from whatever you're doing, and then there's no poop.
Yeah, she has.
And so, again, and I asked you this years ago, what is the next 5 years? What does it look like for her? Because not if she's legally your daughter, what if something happens to you? You can't take care of her much longer. And now while we're both here, I need to know. You're telling me he insisted on adopting her. Dad, what did you tell me?
She was super excited when the fostering thing came up. She drove from New Mexico to North Carolina to pick her up, and we had her for a good long time before we got Kingston. And it wasn't long after we got Kingston and Macy that we went ahead with full adoption.
And whose idea was it?
I'm trying to remember the exact, but I know what I was talking about earlier was when she was so excited to pick her up. And there was a little Downs blackboard she wanted to get to at the same time.
I'm talking about when she was older, when it was
Yeah,
time for
when she was
adoption.
older, I remember going to the bank and getting the paperwork notarized.
Okay, the first time you came home from New Mexico, and I picked you up at the airport with her in the back seat.
Okay.
What did you say when I told you that they want us to decide if we want to adopt her or not, should that arise?
I'm sure I was pro-adopting.
Mm-hmm. And then when I started balking and said I didn't think I could handle her, and everybody kept telling me what? You included.
But God can't give you more than you can handle.
You never said that to me.
That's what Catholics say all the time.
Well, we're having a serious conversation right now, so I need to know, did you insist on adopting her?
I was pro-adopting her. I don't know if the word insist would apply. But I thought she was on board with it too.
So you can
I was
see where
agreeing
the
with her.
communication in this family is lacking intensely. And that's not going to get us anywhere. We want to further ourselves in the world, in the community, in business. How are we going to get anywhere if everyone's backbiting everyone everywhere they turn? Speaking of, where's grandmother? Because a lot of this was her. When I'm in that room, she's crap talking about all your clothes and you on your phone, not getting up to do any housework. Okay? And when I talk about getting Kingston and Macy back, no one seems to, because we're ready to fight for that boy and get him back in this family. Because he belongs with us.
Well, what brother said it.
And then when you say that dad pushed for the adoption of a little girl who's going to grow up to be a retard, what does that look like on paper? It looks like that old man trying to adopt Kingston. What does that look like to everybody? So when he's the only one in here able to change her diapers, someone comes knocking on the door and something happens to her at school or something, someone breaks her hymen at school and they're going to come looking at him. Then what? He's going to end up in prison as a pedo of a retard. So then what? They don't make it one night. So what are we really doing here? We set dad up for failure? Think about it, Mom. Don't give me that look. You have to look at it the rest of the way the world looks at it. You insist on this girl. Blood got pushed out of this house because she's here. Because you couldn't handle all three of them. You don't think if Coco had been rehomed at 6, 7, 8 years old, when you were at your breaking point with all three of them? And why didn't you call me? You knew I would have dropped anything and everything to come and be there with you again like I had done before. So why did those kids have to suffer because you couldn't communicate with me? You could have called me and be like, Tara, I need help again. Can you come here? Move home. Help me with these kids. What would I have done? Well, sorry, Mom, I'm drinking too much. I can't be bothered with that. No, you knew I was lost. You knew I was looking for something. But no, it's easier to keep me at arm's length drinking myself to death. You lost one daughter. Are you willing to do that again? Tell me true. then stand up for your family. Fight for me. Fight for these babies. That grandson is the closest thing he has to his son. And so is Kingston.
I know that.
Do you think Ben is a picture perfect boy that this man would have raised? Do you think he's taking up the butt in Portland? You think that's who he wants to leave his legacy on? No, Ben didn't even be bothered to take his name. Grandpa John wants my family to take his name because he's proud of what we're doing. He's proud of what we stand for. And he left on his deathbed for us to take care of this man.
Well, then I guess I can move myself out of the way and let you do that.
That's your choice on your Lord? That's what you want to do? You would rather...
Tara, let me tell you where I'm coming from, okay? I have never been part of the Huffer family. Ever. Ever. And you
why?
know that.
I know that because you kept them from us as kids. And
No, I did not keep you from them.
You constantly told me that he didn't want to be around, and he was calling every single day, and I never knew about it. I was resenting my father as a small child because I didn't think he wanted to be a part of my life. Now, she gets to be a part of his life every single day. He gets to wipe her butt when I could have been going on trips and learning from him. We could have followed him around the country, but you insisted on staying in Wilmington. He had a job in Virginia offered. We could have gone and moved there.
I didn't know about Virginia.
Yes, you did.
No, I did not.
Everybody knew about it. How could you not know about it? Grandpa
You'd be
John.
surprised what I didn't know about.
You didn't want to move to Virginia.
I never said that. You never put that in front of me.
Yes, I do.
Okay, fine. You did.
So again, what is the next step for her?
I don't know. I will be finding a place for her. That's what I will do. Because that's my job. She doesn't need to be a burden to anybody else in the family. She doesn't. And
She deserves round-the-clock care, or someone who has the ability to care for her.
She does, yes. She needs that.
She needs socialization. She needs other people like her around her, guiding her, nourishing her, and giving her.
Giving her what? We've already spoiled her.
That's the problem. You understand that, right?
Well, you were spoiled.
But again, I'm a rationalizing, growing human.
And no, I never heard a thing about Virginia. There are a lot of things you think you've told me. You never say a word. Ever. Then I hear about things from other people that I didn't know about. And you know why I quit going to your parents' house? You sit you and the girls all the time, and no, I didn't keep them from you. I invited them to our house many times. You know why they wouldn't come? Because I was there. That's why they wouldn't come.
So where is the problem stemming from? They just didn't like you from day one because?
They did. Yeah, no, they really didn't, because Becky didn't like me and still doesn't like me, and I really don't care. But that's where a lot of it stems. Yes. I did my dead level best.
To find a good dad who had a good job to support Ben.
No. But thank you for thinking so low of me. I appreciate that a whole lot.
I'm not saying that, Mom. But why would they not like you from day one? Did you try? You had the upper hand. You're the young woman in there.
Did I try?
Right.
Did I try? You don't know if I tried. You didn't pay attention.
Yes, you tried.
I remember some of the things Stephanie said that was going on there. And a couple times she had to stand up to them in my defense because you wouldn't. Because they were saying things about me they didn't need to be saying because they weren't true. And she knew it. Unfortunately, she's not here to do that.
So why?
But I realize everything's my fault. I know it. I'll take it.
That's not how we need to operate, because he used that line all the time. It's no one's fault.
No.
We need to move forward. It doesn't matter what happened. We're here now. These babies are what matters now.
This is perfect. A lifeless frozen wasteland. Not an animal in sight. The Pratt brothers would never come here.
Well, if you don't mind, we'll sleep out there tonight and we'll leave on Friday.
Do that. I don't mind. Just watch out for the little ones in those machines. Someday I'll hopefully be able to get back out there.
Yeah, there's no bed out there. I'd rather
No.
you guys.
You stay in here. It's fine.
Yeah, stay in here.
Speak, darling. Donita, I have
It's just y'all. I mean, one thing you need to know: I was never part of the Huffer family.
Tell me you know.
Never felt
Well, you
welcome.
know what, Mom? You're a Huffer now. You're the
No, I'm
matriarch.
not, honey. I'm still a Burton. I'm still a Burton.
What respect is that to your husband?
He doesn't respect me. He doesn't trust me. He never has.
Yeah, we need. No, this is too much.
Well, it's the
So
way
you're
it is.
saying that respect is given it back and forth. Where?
There, I will tell you something that I know for a fact. Corrine criticized Jan to me. She was talking to me, and it was about the money. She thought Jan spent too much money. So I know that was a problem.
Well, any of the letters that I read, Moms, that you're asking for this and the other. But you know,
I was asking for stuff.
sewing machines, sewing classes to set up things. Or you're talking to Grandmother Crean about asking them for stuff.
No, I did not.
Okay, well, I read it in your handwriting. I also read in your emails that basically at 17, 18, you wrote me off because I was spoiled and attached to my daddy. And I got things that you didn't, that you wanted. I have copies of these things, Mom.
Okay.
Grandmother Creed kept copies of everything.
Fine. And no, I never wrote you off because you're attached to a dad. I didn't write you off at all. Between 17 and 18, you were having a pretty rough time right then. Because you'd lost your best friend. Our family got torn apart.
Why are we letting it stay that way?
I wasn't trying to.
No one is trying to. We want people to listen, to communicate. But if you're going to go back and forth and revert, you know, we're trying to help this one become a better version of herself. But
Are you calling her a demon is doing that?
People have demons. I'm sorry, were there not demons in the Bible?
Yes.
Haven't you seen demons cast out even in your own church?
Yes.
So how would it be that an unsusceptible body that's not strong, as a God-fearing Christian woman, how could you say it's not possible?
I'm not saying it's not possible. But to call her an it, and to call her a demon, that's a step too far for me right now.
Okay. There is a girl in there, and we can see her coming out. But when that demon is there, it contorts her face, and it sucks her face in. It's physically ruining her body. It's contorting her body. You can look back at pictures and see the change in her eyes. Oh.
It's probably not a good habit to get into at a restaurant. It doesn't look good.
What's that class?
Correct me if I'm wrong. Are you not a warrior of the Lord?
Yes.
Are you not strong in your faith?
Yes.
Well, so are we, Mom. So and to be honest, our faiths are no different. We call him by his Hebrew name. Because guess what? Jesus didn't exist then. Jesus never existed then. So by calling him by what his mother called him, what he said his name was, I am that I am, in the Bible. Is that wrong? Is that a reason to shun somebody? As your church does, they shun people. Shun family. They'd rather you turn family away.
But now it's cold and everything's still covered and no leaves are growing. So what do these vegetarians eat in the winter?
Well, whatever they have in the fridge, of course. Fridge. Fun. Fridge. Oh, I'm serious. Beavers have a fridge. Of course. That's right. A natural fridge.
Can she handle those?
Yeah.
I already got one. I already got one. Here, okay.
Whenever a beaver wants us there. A natural refrigerator.
That means the hardworking beaver has collected and refrigerated all the food the whole family needs for the entire winter.
Don't let stubbornness be what gets in between us all. We're working with her too. It might not look the same, but has she...
Put yourself in my position for just a minute.
That's why I'm here, to put myself in your position.
And
the truth is hard to hear. But you know what? My husband sees everything. He knows a lot of things, and he would not fight for something that he doesn't know about. And I know that firsthand because I've been stubborn, because I was raised by these stubborn women. I've shown my butt. But you know what? It's by the grace of God that man keeps loving me and showing me that the Lord loves me and will continue to bless our lives as long as we keep working for it and show him that we can't let her sit idly by in a corner, get sugar high all the time, getting everything that she wants, because manipulation is the first thing she learned, and she's good at it.
Yep.
And she's good at playing you. Yeah. But now she's 14 into learned behavior. That's all she knows.
Well, I mean,
she's a badly trained dog right now. And she needs Pavlov's dog. If you put something there, you know, they train rats how to go 2 different ways with treats or electrocution. And if you're saying she's, you know, she can learn because she has been learning. We've seen strides already.
I know that. But the constant mocking her, yelling at her,
that's not professional.
It's more than I can handle.
He's doing all military boot camp, which
is getting results because she's never been talked to like that before. So she's understanding there's an authority figure that she can't BS around, because she's going to do that to you, she's going to do that to you. Because, you know, the other day when you went running back there to Daddy,
I didn't go to Daddy, I went to the closet.
Either way, when you went back there and she was sitting here, where she shouldn't have been sitting at the head of the table, first of all, because she knows that. But she knows what she's doing. She knows the chaos that she's creating. And she was sitting there quiet as a mouse until Dad walks around that corner, and then it's crying. Well, nothing was wrong with her. But she knows that Daddy will come over and give her a hug and kiss and tell her everything's okay. Give her some momos, make it all better. You know what? This no sugar diet has been just fine, because she's not doing this all the time.
Okay, I will give you that.
And maybe she does need to hear the sometimes, because that's what we're all listening to. Do you think that's fair? That she just gets to do whatever she wants? She can be taught not to do those things. We know because it's happening. I was sitting like this 20 minutes, no problem. When you were sitting here doing her hair. How hard was that day? And that was bad. And how much struggle did she give you? Less than usual?
Less than usual, yes.
Because Larry told you, sit with your legs crossed, close your mouth, keep your hands down. And you know why she's listening to him? Because he's giving her that authority she craves. She's an unruly teenager. She's a Helen Keller. She needs authority. And when you were talking to her behind the thing, what is she doing? Ignoring you. Because she knows. She knows you have physical ailments. She knows that she can take you to the ground whenever she gets you alone next.
Yeah, she probably could if I let her get close enough. But I don't.
And it's a matter of time. And what happens if it's just you and her here? And something happens to you. You fall. You can't get up. What's she gonna do?
Nothing.
We did promise we'd play hockey.
This is not a healthy situation.
Okay, how about a game of pond hockey?
Not really. No, I don't know that.
So all I'm asking, we'll take it easy on her, but listen to us. Don't have so much resistance, because we're all on the same page. We all have the same goals. We want to see this family do great things, because it has that set forth for us. You think Jesus would just let you sit here in pain, losing all your hair, your glory, above the angels, closed up your pores? What do you think that is?
Honey, I don't know. I've been losing my hair since you were born.
Do me a favor, when you pray next time, say Jesus, say Christ. Throw Yeshua in there. See how it feels. See if something changes in your life. It's his name. What's the problem? It's his name. It's the same Jesus Christ that you know and love and died on the cross for our sins. His spilled his blood so we... Mom, I can't get excited about our Lord and Savior dying on a cross for us?
That's not what I was saying, and you know that.
But you just told me to calm down.
Breathe.
And anytime I talked to you with any kind of gumption when I was young, you know what you would tell me? Oh, that's not you. That's not you. We lay hands on you and pray for you, because that's not you talking to me.
No.
Yes, ma'am. You didn't want to believe that I could talk to you like that.
I knew you could talk because you did it all the time.
Well, now I'm standing up for your family, my family, his family. Because you married him. And by the law of man and the law of the Lord in heaven, you are his wife. And just as I am subservient to mine, why aren't you to him? He doesn't respect you, maybe you...
Define subservient.
Doing what he says when it's in line with the Lord. Because he convenes with him on a daily, momentarily basis.
None of us are. We gotta think of something else.
And I've had a hard time listening and doing. But guess what? When I do, things are different. When I do them on my own, I end up in jail. But my husband's the one who got all these charges dropped. I didn't have to go to court. I didn't need a lawyer. Because even though I pissed him off and made him look terrible, he still cleaned up my mess. And it wasn't right for me to have you lie to him. It wasn't right. I had this stubborn thought in my head that something, because that's this chaos team wants. It wants to stir up all this chaos. Because that's unsettled. We can't get anything done. And we're in constant state of fluctuation and not being able to communicate with each other.
Honey, I already know that it doesn't matter what I say. It's never going to matter. It really won't. It won't. I've always known my place.
So what's going on with grandmother and her procedure in Illinois?
It's on Monday. I've got to get her back there.
So, I mean, have you come up with a plan? Are you
No,
two going to go?
We haven't developed a plan yet, sweetie.
Now we know which creatures have hockey powers. Thanks, Slider.
Things kind of went sideways before that because I can't handle Coco getting yelled at all the time. I can't handle that. I can't.
But she can yell at you guys all the time.
I've had enough of your whining for one day. Navio, plain now.
What do you mean yell at us all the time?
When she doesn't want to do something?
She may make that noise when she doesn't want to do something. Guess what she gets to do anyway? The something. And that's how my arm got torn, because I made her do the something she didn't want to do. Trying to walk her back there with my cane, it's like she just had a perfect opportunity to turn around the wrong way and get me. And yes, I let out a scream. And yes, your dad came running.
So she knows she can get her way. She knows. So is it a matter of time before she knocks you to the ground, no one else is here, and she just goes back and sits in her room while
We've
you're...
been that one already. We've done that. There wasn't anybody here when she pulled me down.
So you won't allow little yelling, but you'll allow that to happen again. But with a little bit of tough love, because that's all this is. Because we love her too. We want to see her strive. We don't want to see her get put in the first facility that opens up for her. They're not going to tolerate a kid who walks and talks and poops in a diaper. You think they're not going to?
I don't know because I've never been to one. I don't know. I do not know what they do.
It's time to start setting up tours and go and visit them.
Well, I know I've asked you several times. What are we going to do?
I have
And
no plan. What I'm finding out is you have no plan in life. You're doomed to fail.
And right now, we're dooming this child to fail. Because no one's giving her... What would you do with any other unruly teenager who hasn't had any authority in their life?
well, I was wanting to take her up to the behavioral center up there, but he said nope because they'll just find a way to take her away from us.
I did take her to the behavioral center several times, and all that guy wants us to do is get a caseworker in here and something else, and we didn't do any of that. I came out and told her what she wanted us to do, and we weren't too keen on getting a caseworker to come inspect the house.
So we canceled all that. Because I don't know, when she gets some of her behaviors, I do not know how to deal with them because I've never had to before.
So let's start making the next steps, because clearly we're not the professionals. We're not doing it right. So we're not doing right by her here.
Right?
Now, Larry has worked with mental capacity children in a professional setting. So
it was Ritalin. She wanted to put her on Ritalin.
Oh, no. I draw the line at drugs. Because that takes her appetite away, and she didn't have one of those in the first place.
Well, then maybe try some CBD, get her an appetite. Talk to a doctor. Talk to naturopaths, you know. You know, if it takes us going to the doctor and figuring things out. But at the same time, if anyone were to come in here and take a look at you two, you just had a heart attack, you can't barely walk on your own for more than 5 minutes without losing your breath, they're going to get out of here in a second. So yeah, we do our due diligence to find the right place for her, which there are a multitude. Especially towards the Columbus area, you have nicer ones. Well, we can go visit her. You even said yourself she wouldn't even notice. She wouldn't even notice if we were gone. So what are we... Is she going to take care of you when you...
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Will I?
I would hope so.
Mom, you know so, because I've done it. Multiple times. And I would do it again. No matter where we stand, whatever last conversation we had, because I'm not going to leave it like that, because I love you, Mom. And that's why we're here. That's why I'm fighting. And that's why I'm saying any of the things that I'm saying.
And I love you more than life itself. I've told you that.
Well, if you love me like that, you love my kids like that.
What happened?
I made her mad. She was playing in the dog water and getting herself.
Yeah. If you stop her from playing with knives, she does that. Then she starts banging her head on the floor.
Grandmother wouldn't let her play in the water?
Yeah, the dog boy.
30 injured.
Yeah, Islamic junk in the film.
The what?
Islamic
Driving?
flags and paraphernalia in the cab.
Wow. No.
Wildcats is made possible by the Corporation for Public Broadcasting and by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
We're here in the northern hemisphere, where winter
I thought I just turned it off. Oh, she's turning it back on for her.
Sorry.
Hey, it's us, the Crack Brothers. I'm Chris. I'm Lauren. And if you're looking for wild penguins up here in the north, you're looking
Poor baby.
That makes me feel old.
What?
I remember when they started and they looked so young.
No.
Penguins are extinct.
Oh, don't fall off, baby.
But there isn't just one kind. There are 17 different species of penguin. That's the gentoo, the only penguin with a headband mark. See the white band going over his head? And this little guy is a man. See, he has 70 They also eat different things and make different sounds. Those macaroni buckets are loud. All of them have that same body size, but these are they rocket through the water. Their wings are what powers them. They're basically flying underwater. Oh yeah, penguins have everything it takes to swim through icy water and survive in freezing
Let's go check them
No. Stay. Stay.
Did she go out?
She did, yeah. Check on brother.
They love marching. Hey, Alita, how's it going with the Penguin Power Program?
I'm working on it.
Oh, come on, Alita, hurry up. The penguins are marching. You want to join in?
Well, it's not like they're running fast or anything. Why don't you just walk with them?
Well, we tried. Look what happens. See? The penguins don't like us marching. Unless you're a penguin.
Maybe we
Hey,
penguin just done fast.
stop.
We'll help.
Zoro tried to
I'll
mount her.
do anything for a penguin power suit.
Opal.
Is that a dish towel?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Stand it!
No.
Designing penguin suits is the worst.
That
see how long this has been out. Probably all day, yeah.
Yeah, probably. I didn't put it away like I said I would.
There's this salad in the fridge. White bottom.
I ate part of it.
Was it good?
Yes, very good.
There's a lot of it.
Yes. Yeah, there's enough
I ate about half.
of that.
Yeah, so it was a huge bowl they brought in.
Wow.
And I was being good. I had a salad. I didn't have it. Well, they had some onion strings I'd gotten because I knew Abby loved those. So I had some onions. She gets downright ornery if she's hungry.
Well, she gets mad, really mad, if you do something she doesn't like, too, doesn't she? This really gets.
I already feel sorry for her husband.
Yeah. Well, maybe she'll tone down a little before then.
Pretty strong too. Penguins don't fly. Their flippers are for swimming. All right, buddy?
Scanning now. Aviva, stand by. I'm sending you some more observations. Uploading now. Standing by, Cookie. Fantastico. It's the last bit of data I need for the
Did
disk.
she fix the bed? Did she fix the bed?
Put the stuff
With all
back.
your help, we did it.
That was some great teamwork. Yeah, the whole Wildcrats team pitched in.
Except for Jimmy.
Jimmy? Yeah?
Why won't you come out?
I'm scared of them.
Jason, did you like the places you looked at?
You got nothing to worry
You
about.
know, the first place was really nice, and it had the 20 acres,
At the South Pole.
but it was right down to this river that's, it's like the Embro. It was really overflowing its banks and looked really nasty. You know, on the other side was junk pickup truck, not pickup, the whole semis. Like, I already lived next to a junkyard,
Yeah.
but the house was super nice and had all these bizarre rooms. You couldn't figure out the layout. And she took us back to this one great big room upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And,
Inventing and programming.
And they had a kitchen upstairs and a kitchen downstairs.
Oh.
So they could have their own apartment downstairs
Now you can march with the
and
penguins.
not have much interaction. But the, and the 20 acres, it was unusable for anything else because it was in this bottom land out over another street.
Yeah.
And it would have been difficult to get, you'd have to get your tractor tiller or whatever down there and build a shed for it because you couldn't take it up and down.
It's too steep?
Yeah, it's from the house down to the land is really
Yeah.
steep.
Wow.
And they had a nice fenced in area up by the house. But then the second place was also a really nice house and kitchen and all, and huge storage area, which they still have stuff.
In there.
Yeah, and then it had outbuildings. And they had been professional caterers their whole life. And the one building was a professional kitchen
Yeah.
and prep area for the garage for the
Yeah.
catering trucks. It was all set up. And Larry was just salivating. And that was another odd thing. I forget the wife's name. She did all the talking, but the husband was Larry. And the real estate agent was Abby.
Okay.
So we had two Abbies and two Larrys.
This was a great idea, Mark. Thanks, bro.
And,
We're already discovering cool and fun penguins.
And how far is it from work?
Oh yeah, we're talking hours drive. But a lot of the people I work with are already working 2 days a week and 2 days a week online. And I'm sure they let me do that, but I didn't like it much trying it.
Yeah.
Because Coco was in the house.
Yeah. Hard to concentrate.
Well, when it first
pandemic and working at home, when it first started, we did really good because we all had our own tasks and we were focused, and we wrapped those tasks up, and then I couldn't get anything else started. And I threw out ideas what to do. Oh no, we already got that done. We already got that done.
Our mistake.
I was like, you can't work from home if they don't give you new assignments.
Yeah,
That's the hardest part.
sure
And,
is. Yeah, that would be.
and I had to go in after that for some medical checkup, and I begged them to let me stay, come back to regular work, and they did.
Where did they zip off to? Oh, there. They might be a little slow and clumsy on land, but penguin powers are super in the water. Whoa, they zoom around like missiles. How do they swim like that? Flat flippers? Whoa, the suit works. Okay, so let's break down how these work. Flipper flap down for moving forward. And now I understand the penguin body shape. It's sleek and streamlined for moving through the water. Yeah, and check it out. Flapping and curving their wings up and down lets them change direction. Angling the wings up makes you go up. Angling them down makes you go down.
I think I'm ready for bed. I'm tired of kid movies.
Yeah. You can turn that off again, I guess.
Yeah.
Angle wings down to go down.
Ooh. What time is it?
I'm
gonna go in your
not
room.
quite 8 o'clock.
Okay, I'm gonna go in your room and get mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I think they use their hind feet too. So they use both their wings and their feet to steer. Okay, now I get it. Oh yeah! Wahoo! Woohoo! We're swimming the
When the dogs come in, this is all we know. And I was wondering what we could put that in.
Oh, their stuff? I don't know. I don't know what to do with it.
we did before we met up with the
Well, we'll use this box.
Could have took me out to the greenhouse and laid it all out in the greenhouse.
What keeps penguins out?
Like, well, what else? Greenhouse.
All the laundry.
Why?
The dogs wouldn't be in the greenhouse.
I can't get back out in the house if I go out there. I have to stay out there. And I don't sleep on concrete well because I'll go on the floor.
Wow, a penguin can eat underwater. That helps them stay down here and just keep eating. Because penguins can hold their breath for 27 minutes. That's some great swimming power. Hey bro, you hungry? For live fish? But we've got to put our penguin powers through their paces. We should forget about the fish.
Don't fall.
I do, almost all the time. Little puppy.
Leper seal!
What you're going over.
I just about did.
Awfully dangerous!
You know what I would have said?
Yes, I do.
Swim fly! Fly swim!
Not that you need to.
Keep flapping, Chris! All flapping! Penguin powers are fast and maneuverable. Penguin powers! Oh, it's shaking! Into the iceberg, bro! I think we lost. Nope!
Where is it?
Follow those penguins! Of course!
She wants me to let her know it's okay for them to do what they need to do. I said, no, it's not okay. But yet I'm being contradictory. Because I'm number one, Coco's did not have any place to pick up the swearing thing. She's not been any place to pick that up.
No.
And yes,
Well, they said at school, but
no.
and
The
they
school
said,
said no. It didn't happen there.
and, they said that she watches adult movies and things. Do you have parental control or things
On her iPad, yes.
on any, what else does
Well,
she?
if she's in, like the day they were supposed to be getting her into school for me, because she was on a 2-hour delay, and I woke him up, and I said, she's 2-hour delay, she'll need to be on the bus before I get back. And she has to be on the bus at 9:15. Okay. I got home and she's still here, sitting in there watching TV.
They didn't wake up. did
No.
they?
No. But of course, that's
That's
fault.
okay, because it was,
it's my fault.
I see some of her, is that Paris?
This is. That's Jason's.
Okay.
That one's mine. It shouldn't have that, but that's all right.
I just took the Berlin.
I can't think of it. I've got to go
I
ahead and
just took the Berlin.
Okay. And this is my jacket, but one of those things that doesn't fit real well, but you know, there it is.
And where do you keep the sheets? In Pilsen.
In the bottom of that cabinet in the hallway, the bathroom, hall bathroom, the bottom.
The
cabinet.
bottom of the bathroom thing, that's where big towels. I'll have to move stuff around. I can
The
do
towels I put in the middle, one.
Yeah, I know you did, but it was full. When you get out all in there, you don't have all the towels cleaned at once. And we still got more to go, but I'll fix it like we want it.
And then
That's where the sheets go, the bottom of that.
usually, yeah.
All right, well, we'll do that.
Well, don't do it tonight. It's fine.
I might, because when the dogs come in here, the dogs come in.
Probably. I don't.
You know, they'll mess everything up.
Yeah. I can put it
And since you fixed the bed, I'm assuming the grandma.
I
And
don't
this
assume,
is full of laundry.
yeah, I don't assume anything.
Wow.
I think I just have to relegate myself to paying the bills and let everything else happen around me.
Oh, nice lippies.
Oh, enough.
Hey, my boy, did you have a good nap? That was a long one. Go first. And what carries on that way?
Where's the back?
Yeah, my big idea is have monogram baskets, clean ones for everyone, right? So when we have these big piles, load them up and send them out.